Alright, this screencast is going to show you guys how to publish your Thanksgiving table dialogues that you've come up with. So the first thing that you're going to do after you start up your computer is go down to the Start menu. We're going to be using Microsoft PowerPoint today, and so to get there you need to go to All Programs, scroll down then to the Microsoft Office folder. That's going to be in the M's, of course. Click on the Microsoft Office folder and find Microsoft Office PowerPoint and click. After PowerPoint has opened, you're going to get rid of click to add title, click to add subtitle, just like we normally do. Remember, in order to do this, you'll want to come over here to kind of the blue section, click and hold down, dragging across those two items, and then you can hit the backspace or the delete key to get rid of those. Alright, now that we have a blank slide, what we're going to work with is creating a rectangle. So you're going to be sure that you're on your Home tab and go to the Drawing section of that Home tab. Now yours may say Shapes here, or it may look like mine and have pictures of the shapes. The first shape that we're going to need is the rectangle shape. So go ahead and click on that and then come down to the screen. You're going to notice that your cursor is going to change. It's going to look sort of like a plus sign. And you're going to come down to the slide and drag it across to create a square. Now most of you need 6 squares because that was what was on your original sheet. If you need more, then you can make your squares a little bit smaller, or you have the option of inserting a new slide and putting in more squares that way. It's completely up to you. Once you have one of your squares drawn, like I do though, you're going to go ahead and double click on that square, or you can right click on it and go to Format Shape. We're then going to change our line color and be sure that it is black. And we're going to change our fill color, which is the first part of the format shape, and we're going to make it be no fill. Then we want to make our lines just a little bit thicker, so we're going to go to Line Style, and where it says width, we're going to change that to about 6 or so. Now you can decide how thick you want your lines, but 6 usually works. Then you're going to close it, and you'll notice that your box has changed a little bit. It's no longer blue, and it has a thicker line around the outside. Now you want all of your boxes to be uniformed. That's very important with your publishing. So what you're going to do is then right click on your box, and you really have to click on the line right here. You can't click on the inside because there isn't a fill there anymore. It's very important to right click on the line. After you've done that, you can hit Copy, click off of the square just in the middle area, and then right click again and hit Paste. Then you can click again on the line and drag your box to where you need to. Now you want your box to be in the middle, and you want it to be fairly close, as close as you can get to your line of your first box. Now you can use the arrow keys to move that around as long as you have clicked on your box. You can then use your arrow keys. If it moves too much when you're using the arrows full on, you can do what's called nudging, and you can hit the Control button and then the arrows, and it'll just move it a tiny bit. We then want to place in yet another box, so we're going to right click again and hit Paste, and it's going to click in that same one. Move your box around with either your mouse or your arrows. Again, I'm using that Control and then nudging it. And you'll notice that my box is really too big to fit on the page. There's a couple of things that I can do. I can drag across just like I did earlier and move those boxes with my arrows so that they fit on the page. If I nudge these just a little bit more, then I can make them all fit with very little room in between the boxes. This makes my boxes as big as I can make them, which works really well. Your boxes may be a little smaller, that's alright. Now that I have 3 boxes in, I'm going to need 3 more. So I'm going to go ahead and do the drag trick, and I'm going to drag across them. This time I'm going to I'm going to drag across them, and I'm going to go to the copy button, which is again right up here on the home tab. If you try to right click, usually it messes up on you, so it's very important to go up to the home tab. Hit copy, click off of your 3 squares, and then come back up to the home tab and hit paste. Very quickly you can use your arrows to move those around, creating your other boxes. And I want to center these a little bit, so I'm going to use my arrows again to move them down. Now once you have your boxes positioned just the way you want them, you can go ahead and begin actually putting in your characters. Now we want these guys sitting around a Thanksgiving table, so I'm going to go up and get the oval tool. Now if you don't want your table to be oval, if you want it to be square, that's fine too, whatever you want. But click on the shape that you want and come down. My oval tool isn't working. Okay, there we go. And draw your table. Now in order to make this table look more realistic, kind of like a top view, I'm going to go to where it says Shape Fill and go down to Texture. And there's lots of different textures to choose from. I'm going to choose the one that kind of looks like wood grain because I want mine to be a wooden table. Now the wood grain has changed, but I still have a blue line around that, so I'm actually going to change my outline to black. Actually, let's go with a brownish color so that it kind of blends in and looks nicer with the table. I'm then going to go ahead and select my characters. Now some of your characters might be available on clip art, but most probably are not, depending on who you chose. So we're going to use the internet. So you can go ahead and go down to the Start menu and go to Internet Explorer, and hopefully your page is set to Google. If it's not, go to google.com. You'll notice that mine isn't coming up, it's coming up to my Gmail account. So what you're going to do is in the taskbar, just type in www.google.com, and then we're going to type in what we need. One of my characters that I need is Santa. So I'm going to type in Santa, and I'm actually going to click on Images because I want images of Santa. And here I have a Santa that looks like one that I could use. So I'm going to click on him, and it's going to bring up that Google image. I'm then going to right click on it and hit copy. After I've copied my image, I'm going to go down to my bar down here, and I'm going to click on PowerPoint. Mine may look just a little bit different than yours because I'm in Windows 7 and you guys are using Windows Vista. But you'll see PowerPoint down at the bottom. Click on that and it's going to bring up your PowerPoint. After your PowerPoint is back up, you're going to right click and hit paste. So you're going to paste your image. It may take a couple of seconds depending on how fast your computer is today. Then you're going to need to resize your image. So I'm going to make Santa about this big. You want him just a little smaller than your table. And I'm going to make it look like he's actually sitting at the table. Now you'll notice that right now it looks like Santa's almost sitting on top of the table. We want him to look like he's sitting at it. So in order to do that, if we right click on Santa and hit send to back, it looks as if he's sitting at the table. Then I'm going to go back to my internet and I'm going to exit out of the Santa character or whoever your first character is. Go back and I'm going to type in my next character. My next character